Hi everybody, so I'm Helen and this is lovely Diego. Diego just turned 13 and he's an Australian Shepherd, and Catherine is the owner, and I have massaged Diego before and he's been in class, but I'm going to do a demo massage of Diego. Now pretend it's just the first time and I've gone through the intake forms with him, he's gotten to know me a bit, but just notice I'm just kind of here just gently hanging with him just to make him a little more comfortable. You're going to note that the videos that you see with me and Cha-Cha, if you watch any of them on the YouTube, Cha-Cha knows me, that's my dog. Of course it's going to be a little different. Diego's only been massaged by me, not even last time, other people worked on him last time. So this is technically only the second time I'm massaging him. Okay, so what I like to do is set myself in the right sort of mood, in the right frame of mind. So I'm working at my breathing, regulating my breathing as I chill with Diego. Notice I've lowered myself a little on the table by moving my legs a little outward. So I'm at a really good spot. At the same time, he's braced against me because I'm actually, the absolute last thing that's gonna happen is he's gonna get off this table on his own, especially he's elderly. Very good. So I like to set my intention before I massage the dog. I might not say it out loud, but what is my intention for this massage? That Diego's going to be in a comfortable spot, that he's going to be okay with me, and he's going to be relaxed being the demo dog, and that's going to be his job for this afternoon. Good boy. Very good. And now I'm going to go into I'm actually going to show you a technique that I use. It's like a cranial sacrum technique. Now notice my hands are with the contours of the dog, and notice I'm not on his head, I'm hovering. It's hard to tell, but I'm just hovering. Now picture I'm just breathing from my center, which I'll show you how to find. It's here. So I'm just breathing, I'm finding my center, asking for permission. Can we have this nice massage, Diego? Good. Okay? And then now that's relaxing him as well, that cranial sacral technique, and I'm passing on some nice energy. Next I'm going to go into an open. So open, this is stroking. So Hordebe always starts a massage with stroking, and look at my hands, how they're a little more open. Sorry, wrong shirt. There we go. My hands are just kind of open, stroking his body. Now watch as I go into an effleurage. So effleurage is the more closed hand technique. And now here is Diego's spine. And I'm gonna go, one hand follows the other, about this much from his spine. In TCM, or the traditional Chinese medicine, they refer to that as like 3 sun or something away from the spine. So smaller dog, less space. The bigger the dog, you're going to have more space from the spine and out. So I've done 1, 2, 3. Now because I can, I'm going to follow on the other side as much as I can. Okay. So we've kind of opened up the massage. We're going to go into the next part, which is freestyle. So my hands are now just going to work for several minutes. Yeah. On Diego's body. We're going to use freestyle to increase our bond with the dog that we're working with. Give a dog an idea of what's to come. So in other words, this is what's going to follow if you stay on the table, nothing worse. Also feel for things like, we talked about the 4 T's. So we talked about temperature, tension, texture, tenderness. Is that the other one? I always forget the other one. Tenderness. 4 T's, temperature, texture, tension, tenderness. And we're going to look for feedback signs. So are we getting any feedback signs? Are we noticing, what are we noticing about the body? And we're just going to feel around. We're also going to look for signs of movement. So is there any movement in the dog's body? Are there any twitches? Does he pull away if I touch an area? And I'm just going to spend a few minutes covering Diego's body, just very lightly. He's an elderly dog. Hi, sweet boy. Oh, sweet boy. Just a sweet boy. Sweet boy. Okay. He was outside, so I'd expect the paws to be just a little cooler. And this is a different than massage than when I took massage cha-cha. Cha-cha is like pressure, deep, really just get in there. And Diego's older, and you can feel that his body's older. He's a little more atrophied, right? Like his muscles are a little smaller. And Catherine was saying that she's noticed that since the last maybe year and 6 months. Yeah. But still doing good. Doing good, Diego. You're doing good. Okay. So I'm going to come out of the freestyle portion now, and I'm going to start covering the dog's body methodically. So we're going to start with the head. We're going to go to I'll just briefly tell you, we're going to go to the head, then we're going to move to the neck. We're going to go into the chest, then we're going to work on the forearm or one of the forearms, depending if he's lying on the side or we have access to both. Then we're going to transition to the abdomen, belly. So you could actually go right to his spine, but I prefer after I work on a limb to give him something nice and work on the abdomen and belly. And then I do spine work. And then I start on the hind. So the hind I'll divide into 3. I'll have the sort of outside, like the whole thigh area in and out. But then we have what we call the rump croup, which is up here, that you pay special attention to because the glutes are there, and the glutes are one of like most used muscle practically. The dog's using them all day long. So glutes here. Then we want to do this caudal portion of the dog, which is here. So this is the caudal portion underneath here. And then if I'm going to move the dog over and do the other side, I would do that entire side and then do the tail last, just to give you an idea. But okay, so starting with the head, I'm just doing what I'm just going to call a head shampoo right now. It's something that I made up, but it is what it is. So when you go to the hairstylist, they just get you nice and comfortable. If at any time a dog isn't taking to one of your techniques, move on, right? You can try it again. Okay, now I'm going to go into an ear. So watch as I take the ear. I have a thumb and 4 fingers. I'm just gently taking the ear right down to the base, to the tips. Then I'm going to break up that, let me do this side. So take that ear. I have access to both, so I'm going to do both right now. But now I'm going to break it up. So I'm going to actually just do a little head shampoo and go back. I'm going to work at the base of Diego's ear, very gently. So you know this part all the way around, you know how it feels good? This is a feel-good spot for the dog, right here. So very gently, small dog. And then I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to actually rotate the ear a little against the skull, very gently. You'll see when I work on Cha-Cha and do the same thing, everything's more exaggerated because she's a bigger dog and her body's still, younger. Okay, there we go. Now we're just going to take that ear, thumb and finger. So these are what I call ear passes, like effleurage passes on the ear, like this. But now let's just take a thumb and a finger, gently, little circles to the end. All the way, 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 all the way. And then break it up and then massage a little at the base of the ear. So you're always breaking up your technique. You don't want to do these ear passes. You're not going to do 30 at once. It's boring. You have to break it up. Portabay always breaks up his technique with something in between. Oh, there we go. Good. So now we worked on the ears. I'm going to do a little head shampoo. I'm going to go directly, I think, into stripping. So look at my forefinger, not cranial to the stop, around the stop, slow and methodical. Slow and methodical. A little at the occipital ridge, some nice little circles. I'm going to try that again. Hi, Diego. Good boy. Slow and methodical. And then I'm just going to do a little scrunchie right there. Very good boy. Very good boy. Now I'm going to actually massage around his flu, remember the commissura lip we talked about in the flu? Commissura lip, flu. So I'll do some passes like this. See, notice my thumb is on the flu, but then I break it up and I do head shampoo, right? Because there we go. And then now you have to just take the dog's position for what it is. So now I'm going to try to smush the top portion and the lower portion like this. That's actually what I'm going to try. He put his head up. There we go. Okay. Smooth it out. Is that okay, Mr. Diego? Mr. Diego. Oh, he's just so cute. There we go. This is a good little boy. A little good boy. Just a good boy. Okay. Now we're going to go into tapping. So remember, tapping is rhythmic. And I talk to dogs when I massage them, right? You talk to them. It'd be very weird to have a dog in front of me. Now smooth out that tapping and then tap again. And you're okay to have one hand here, let's say stabilizing, and then just tapping here. And some people start with the two hands. They find it easier to get kind of accustomed to it. Good boy. Good boy. So I'm going to go back into some head shampoo, smushing the face a little bit. Yes. And then we're going to try it, and it's hard with a smaller dog. We're going to try circling. So I'm going to create a circle tracing the imaginary eyebrow. So as ocular ridge, and then beneath the eye. So trace like almost like there's an eyebrow. You know how good that feels? And then here are the temporal lobes here. So picture doing like little circles, right? Little circles here. Temporal lobes. Good boy. Good boy. And I break it up. And I might tap around. So look to just do a little tap, 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 tap. And it's much more different to work with a small dog and a delicate face than a big dog like Cha-Cha. I mean, I'm just so used to big dogs, so I just like get in there. With a smaller dog, you're using a different hand. Your hands look smaller, so it's good to have experience with different types of dogs. I'm going to close off the head area, and I'm going to just take that and watch as I transition from the head into the neck with effleurage. So instead of just taking my hand, leaving it, and moving it, I'm going to go like this, and now, see? Gentle strokes. Gentle strokes into the neck. I'm warming up the neck with some effleurage, and now palm compression. Okay, so effleurage, and then some palm compression. I'm just going to move that around a little bit, and then again, one hand follows the other, follows the other, follows the other. Smooth that out. Now I'm going to go into circles. So watch as my hand is circling Diego's neck. I tend to work one side at a time, but in his case he's small. I can do sort of both sides at once. Okay, but that's two-handed if the dog was bigger especially. So little circles, and then we smooth it out. Yeah. You like it? Do you like it? Yes. Good boy. So we're just smoothing that out, and now watch. Do you see how my hands are kind of grabbing? So they're not doing effleurage like this. They're not doing circles. It's not palm compression. I'm doing a bit of a kneading, almost like a grabbing kneading technique. So kneading is kind of like making dough. So you have what you call the flour and the butter and the whatever you have, and you have to put all the ingredients together to form the cookies. So your hands are kneading the dough, so it becomes one piece. So watch as I'm kneading the side of Diego's neck just a little bit. Okay, like that, and then smooth it out. So you do a few techniques of one stroke, and then you switch to something like effleurage, smooth it out, or a nice palm compression. Aren't you handsome? You are handsome. Good boy. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the top, the crest of his neck, which I have worked on, but let's just do a little more. Now watch as I lift and shake, jostle. Lift and shake, lift and shake. You see the crest of the neck? Lift and shake, very delicate on him. Smooth it out. And then you can do the sides too. So watch as I do both. I can see his expression in the phone, so I know we're doing okay. Good. So that's like a jostle. Now we're going to think about closing off the neck and moving to the chest. But now it's all nice and warmed up. So you notice once the area is also warmed up, you can work a little deeper too. Initially you start lighter, softer, and then you can work just a little deeper. Good boy. That was good. So watch as I transition straight into the chest. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, do you see my hand going in to the chest now? There we go. Okay, so I didn't take my hands off from here and move them. I just directly transition, effleurage into the chest. Now watch as I take my hand. Now that hand's moving into the chest, but now it's going into one underarm, into under the other underarm. Do you see? In and in and in and in. Now watch some circles on the chest. So a nice circle. You like that, Diego? Another nice circle. So this is a big circle. Circles, as I'll show you later, they can be big, using the whole hand, but then watch a focused circle. Do you see the difference? See, that's a focus right now, very small, focused circle. I'm tracing actually the scapula with a small circle versus using my whole hand to now do sun and moon technique. Watch the sun and moon. One hand does the sun, one hand does the moon. Sun, and moon. Okay, so now going back into his underarms, I'm taking one hand cranial, one hand caudal, the back portion, and do you see how they're almost meeting underneath? So it's got the entire underarm and arm area from front and back, cranial and caudal. Great. And now I'm gonna scoop. Scooping's a little like ice cream. So I'm scooping just a little bit under his underarm. Good boy. Break it up. Good boy. What's a nice massage? And now we're gonna scoop and go a little in this underarm too. Good. Oh, necklaces. Forgot to mention, they go inside your shirt when you massage. Almost forgot. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and I'm into his neck area because the whole area is just nice and warmed up now. And now look at this nice little neck massage, right? We've covered this whole front area. He's a good boy, Diego. So to give him a break, I'm just gonna do some little stroking down his body. What area are we gonna do next? Yeah. What were you saying?
Did you say you were going to do the abdomen after you do the...
I could, but the arm. So I'm going to go into the arm now. So what we'll do is the way he's sitting, I'm going to do, I think I have to do this arm so it shows in the video. Okay, so we're just going to open, I'll try to do a little on both sides. So we're going to open up an arm area. So think of what you did to open up. You did some effleurage, and then here's some effleurage. Just kind of warming up the arm, palm compression. I'll do a little bit on both sides maybe because I can. There we go. And then some more effleurage. But normally I would just work on one side like this. And a lot of times dogs are lying on their side and that's how you do it. And then you flip the dog over. But so you guys can all see, I'm going to do a little bit on both sides. And then I'm going to get a little meatier into the arm. So now I'm actually, do you see how I'm manipulating? I'm doing a little bit of kneading. It's a little bit of kneading, right? I'm lifting up the tissue, lifting, there we go. And then I'll smooth that out. A little shake. Oh, good boy. Okay, very good. And then we're gonna go back into the arm. Now here's some circles just on the shoulder area, right? So now you've seen circles in a few places. Here's more circles. Good, good. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like mini kneads. I'll do it both sides. Do you see my thumb? See my thumb just doing little knead, like skin roll knead? Just, yeah, literally just grabbing. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Okay, so I'm gonna break that up right now, and I'm actually gonna go into a shoulder, a scapula. So watch as I'm gonna trace, trace, thank you. Around his scapula, up over the scapula, and now I'm going behind. So I traced, you kind of lose it here and then you find it again. I'm gonna try to do it on this side. Yeah, you feel it right here. Cranial part of the scapula. We're going dorsal, that's where you lose it. And then you can find it again behind here. So trace all around that. And after that area, this area is now nice and warmed up. Look at like the nice little tracing that I'm doing, but look at the more pressure that I'm using. That's someone going into your rhomboids, like right here. Is that what they're called? Traps, rhomboids, whatever, and doing, like getting these coils, get rid of these coils that I get anyway. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm in this area here, which is the equivalent of here, and it's like, oh, the dogs feel so good when you do this. Okay, so I'm just taking my finger, I'm literally doing circles but grabbing. I want to show you just a little more than just basic, because Diego can use it for sure, and then instead of waiting, I want to do it now. Okay, so this is stripping. So now we've stripped around. So let's just go back, and we've done this more direct pressure. So direct pressure is like in, release, drag, in, release, drag, in, release, drag. We're gonna go over the techniques, but you'll see what I'm doing. In, release, drag, see? Now I'm tracing around the scapula using some direct pressure. So in, release, drag, in, release, drag, in, release, drag, doing the direct pressure. Good boy. Okay, let's rough that up a bit. Let's jostle and rough that up a bit. Good boy, Diego. Okay, now we're gonna go back to his shoulder arm area. So now it's like shoulder and arm, which I've already worked into, but work a little more. And I'll do a little on both sides at the same time so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Good. And then we're gonna strip. We're gonna take a thumb and a finger. So remember we stripped here from the stop to the occiput. Picture 2 fingers or 1 finger or thumb and finger. And we're stripping down. So the radius and the ulna, in between here, there's some grooves. So we're looking for some of these grooves or just into the muscles. You ease up over any joint. So I'm easing up completely over the joint. And then let's just go thumb and forefinger. So the humerus and then the radius and the ulna. Did I say, I think I said radius and ulna when I was here. Yeah, I was like, this is here. Sorry, I just caught myself, sorry. I'm like on automatic sometimes, there you go. Okay, there we go. So now we strip going down. Now watch what I might do is pause. So I'm gonna go into his digits. And if the dog starts pulling away, withdraw and maybe go back after. Is that okay, sweetie? You okay? You're gonna do I forget, does he like the paw? Yeah. Okay. Can you move it just a little? Just a little. So it's a little. Yeah, it's got to be a little more up. Yeah. Ah, that's good. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm fanning out the flanges and the digits. I'm doing some circles on the dorsal aspect of the paw. So I'm doing this. And then I'm just doing a gentle squeeze. A gentle squeeze. So it's like I'm holding his hand. Gently holding his hand, sometimes with two hands. Good, sweetie. And all the while you're supporting him. Good. Now I'm going to make my way up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a curved palm compression going up the arm. So you want to end things going up instead of obviously going down for fluids and things. Where's your arm? Okay, so gentle curved palm. So once they start tucking their arms in, you just do what you can do, right? You don't yank the arm out, you just follow along what you can do. Okay, now we found our way up. I'm going to strip again. So this is a shoulder. So you can see I'm just stripping down, follow, ease up over the elbow, radius, ulna, carpus, and now we're going to go to the underside of the paw. So the palmar area, do you feel that nice little soft spot in your dog's paw? Just behind the pads. So that's what I'm doing. That nice soft spot. I'm just massaging in there, and each, you can't see it, but each palm pad, circle around it. So think about circling around the dog's palm pads. Palmar pads. Yeah. There we go. Then I'm going to do a gentle curved palm compression, gentle kneading, just coming up, pushing everything up. Oh, he's a good boy. Is he on the table okay? He's good? He's good still? Okay? You sure? Okay? Okay. Diego. See, he wants, his mommy's here too, so he wants his mommy there. Okay, good. Now I want to actually just show you some cross fiber friction. So we're still in the shoulder, and we're going to do a bit of a cross fiber friction using the few fingers. So it's going to look like this. And you start slow. So just gentle. And the fibers in the shoulder run this way, like the muscle fibers. So you notice that I'm doing this way. So I'm running this way. I'm going to go in more detail after on it, but just to show you right now here. Good. Now smooth that out. It's a technique that you want to smooth out. And now that the shoulder's all warmed up, you can work it some more. Just good boy. Very good boy. And I'm smoothing it out. And now I'm just going to shake it a little. A little shake. A little shake. Aw. Hey, good boy. I don't want you to fall, though. There we go. Okay, good. So now I'm going to actually close off that area. And we're going to go into the abdomen. Now, I'm going to show you actually, so I would automatically just start stroking and go into raking, right? So this is the spine. Ideally, you're raking this side, not this side. It's very awkward, so you want to go this way, this way, this way, this way. But so watch, here's the spine. And now watch, rake, 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 rake. See? Rake, 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 rake. And then I'm going to go with circles. So I'm going to start running some circles. Now I don't have access to the entire area, like all the abdomen. A lot of it's here, so I'll do some of it here after, but I don't want him, obviously I want him to stay comfortably on the table. So I'm just going to do some nice big superfluous circles. So you watch these big light circles. Light. Interchange that with some raking. So now rake different directions. Dogs have, or we have the intercostal muscles here in between. So now raking. And now let's take our circles, but instead of this loose big circle, watch the difference. Loose big. Now watch, do you see the more focused circle? Do you see how now I'm moving the flesh around a little bit? So So now you're moving flesh around with a circle instead of just doing a light circle. So the circles change in their nature, and then you're going to break that up. Break up that circle. And then I might hone in on an area. So I might decide that here's the scapula, and then I want to focus on here, and this is a focus circle. So you watch that focus circle versus that big circle or medium weight. So same technique looks so different when you use, depending on how you use your hands and how much weight you put on the technique. Okay? So break that up. Then what I often do is I'll go into the abdomen, and it's going to be hard to, so I would do it from this side as much as I can, but you can't see anything. So what I'm going to do here is pretending I'm the dog. I'm going to run down the dog's abdomen, this direction, okay? And then, sure, they like a nice belly rub. They like to be jostled a little, tickled a little, whatever. They enjoy it, give it to them. They'll let you know. And then I go back and I massage into the abs here, the muscles. But then I'll also do a gentle squeeze, 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 squeeze of the dog's muscles in the belly there. And then just stroke through them. And I can't do that here with this, but Diego will just do a little on this side, okay? Let me just rake him a little here in circles on this side. Give me a sec. So I'm going to work this opposite direction. So I'm going to rake a little. Oh, good boy. Are you okay, sweetie? Good boy. Sweetie pie. Good boy. Okay, so I'm going to transition now into the spine. So I'm going to move my hands up to the cervical area of the spine, which is the neck. So I don't take my hands if they're just down here and lift them and just move them. I'm just going to weave my way up, and suddenly I'm here at the neck. And what I want to do is stripping with a thumb and a finger. So I locate the spine. Here are the withers, around here, the shoulders, right? Leave space on either side of the spine. The spine is he's rotated a little, obviously, because he's curved back. So I followed it back. I know where it is. Thumb and finger. Leave some space. And now strip. Make sure. Yeah, strip on either side of the spine. So you're not squeezing in. You're not pressing or jabbing the dog in. You're just literally stripping down. And I always like to give the dog something nice. See? Something nice when I get there. Right? That's something nice. Now I'm going to come up with circles. So I'm going to do little focused circles on either side of his spine, tracing all the way up. Now normally I would move and I'd go right behind him, but because he's in a bit of, I don't want him so close to the, you know what I mean? I'm just going to stay here. And I'm going to try. There we go. So I'm doing little circles, which are easier to do when you're directly behind, but I can still do them. Okay, so now I'm at the top again. So now let's strip again, thumb and finger. There we go. See, the spine is right in there. We've left some space. I'm at the bottom. I'm going to give him little scratchy scrunchies. And he likes that. And then we're going to do little scrunchy scratchies. Am I okay to go behind? Is this okay here? Yeah. Is it okay? Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, wonderful. Diego, you're such a good boy. Now watch as I do the scrunchies. So this is, you're going to do gentle. Because you see him, he's quivering a little. He's a little more fragile. So I'm just doing little scrunchies, lifting scrunchy, scrunchy, scrunchy. It's obviously a made up technique, but it's also a real technique. I'm doing a bit of squeezing, scrunching. Okay, good. So we've worked our way up. So now I've just started loosening up this area. I'm just getting nice and loose and loose. Oh, good boy. Okay, give him something that he likes. Good boy. Now I'm going to go back and show you direct pressure. Thumb and forefinger. You're going to trace where you did the stripping. You leave a little space on the spine. Now watch. Into the body a little bit, but no squeezing. No coming together, just into the body. So in, release, drag a bit. 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 In, release, drag. In, release, drag. In, release, drag. I'm paying attention. See, and in here, do you see how there's like all bony parts here? So you're going to ease up here and skip that. You're not going to put your thumb and finger right into his bones here, right? You're going to skip that and go into the soft spot and move your hands there. And you just know it feels natural better. And I'm going to give a nice little circle on the bum. Good boy, Diego. Ready? And we do skin roll. Now watch me do a skin roll. Thumb and finger. So I'm going to drag my thumb and walk with my fingers. You see that? Drag the thumb, walk with a finger, and you're going to try to gather up as much fur and flesh or red towel as you can. So watch. Thumb. Okay, ready, Diego? You see the roll forming? I'm just going gentle because gentle. Okay. Good boy. Okay, so thumb and forefinger. Yes. Oh, good. I'm just doing very lightly on him. Very, very lightly. Yeah. Okay, good. And now smooth that out a little bit. Smooth that out. I'll show you direct pressure one more time. So again, thumb and forefinger. You can try it on the table. So you're going to direct pressure into the body lightly. Release and drag. So when you're releasing, you're not lifting up. You're just releasing the pressure, dragging, and then going in thumb and finger. Release pressure, up, drag. Release pressure, up, drag. Release pressure, up, drag. And you're going to just do that all the way. Depending on how much work I have to do on the dog's back or spine, this is about like the limit that I do at once. One more time. I'm going to, instead of skin roll, I'm going to show you something that I made up, and it's called zigzag. Watch this. Zigzag. It's very good when a dog is holding tension in its back, when everything feels like it's all like one big plate, when the fascia feels tight, etc. So it's similar to ringing up, right? This is ringing up. Okay, ring up. And we're gonna go through all of these. But this is just easier to get going, and it's different. So there's my zigzag. And here's like a ringing up. And easier to do than ringing up, like a washing machine, is just this. It does almost the exact same thing. Like it's like, you can start with that and just until you're, there we go. Oh, you're so good. So now I'm just gonna open that all up. So that was a little extra there. Okay, so now from the spine, we're gonna move to the hindquarters. So, Diego, you stay. Good boy. Can I just move you a little? There we go. Okay. There. Now you're safe on the table. Good boy. So we're going to open up the thigh. So I'm going to actually have to do everything backwards because normally I'd be on this side, but this is fine. So I'm just going to gently do some effleurage and palm compression. So you just want to touch the area, warm it up. This is the sorest one. Yeah. Do you feel, and he's just starting to react more right now, I think.
Yeah,
Just as soon.
You
Yeah.
can work on it, but like,
Okay. Did you guys see that? Now he's just starting to react a little more. Do you think we should try to move it to the other leg, or you're okay if I work?
you can work on it.
Okay, so I'm going to work on this really lightly. I was light before, but I'm going to go very light. It's almost like just showing you the techniques. Good boy. Good boy. Because then you're going to encounter this, obviously, in real massages too. There we go. And I'm just gonna gently, and do you think it's his nervousness now? Oh, he settled down now.
Yeah, I settled down, but like, yeah, just so you know.
Yeah. You okay? Are you nervous at what I'm doing? Are you okay, sweetie? Is it okay if you work there? Yeah? See, some dogs are so like delicate and they're polite that they don't even want to tell you, let's say if they don't want something, whereas others will let you know. You okay? Okay. So do you remember the techniques I did in the forearm and the arm? So we opened up the area, we started working deeper with circles, with kneading, with thumb effleurages, with thumb kneading. All of that actually I would do in here, in the hind, but I would need to be extra careful. Because he starts shaking a little, like, to me I feel like he gets nervous because he knows he might have some discomfort, and he wants to know nothing's going to happen to him. You okay, sweetie? There. Okay. So I'm not going to do too much. And I'm going to move a little to his glutes a little. So this is the actual thigh. So there's the lateral portion of the thigh. There's the back portion. I'll show you some things there, or we might just do it on, let's say on cha-cha. There's the inner portion of the thigh. Good boy. And here are his glutes. So it's the croup rump is right here. So I'm just gently warming that area up. So now we're in the hindquarters, but in the second part of the hindquarters. The first is the thigh. Here's the croup rump. And then gentle circles. And his spine is here and his tail is here. So it's the area literally on either side. And if it's a smaller dog, you can do both sides at once. Break that up a bit. There you go. Break it up with some neck massage. Good. Okay, and I'm going to do just a little direct pressure, but I'm not going in far. Do you see? See that, just a little? Direct pressure here. So normally I might, like on cha-cha, I might be doing this, but here I'm just gently going in to the spots. Easy, dear. Okay. Good boy. Okay, good boy. I'm going to do just a little cross fiber friction to show you this is another area that I would use it. This is really light. Just lightly, and it's also the first time he's had this now in a while, so you want to do less for him. If it was cha-cha, she knows like what's coming, and you know, I just work on her. Okay, good boy. You're doing good, Diego. Now, if I was working on him, like I'm going to go a little to the hind portion of the thigh. So I'm going to actually warm up the hind portion of the thigh. There's all these bands of muscles. Semi-tendinous, semi-membranous, there's a few, bicep femoris, sartorial on the other side. So, but you're running through these bands of muscles on the caudal portion of the leg only. So you can't forget when you're working on the thigh, you've got the entire thigh, the glutes up here, but then you have the buttock area here, which is the caudal portion. So just very gently, opening it up, warming it up a little, warming it up with little circles in here. Okay, and then I'll start like going in between the bands of muscles gently with my fingers. So I'm just pushing into the bands of the muscles. they're like rows of muscles, columns. And see what I'm doing? Just pushing in a little. Good boy. Good boy. It's okay. It's okay. Good boy. Really gently. Doing this. My fingers are just there as my thumbs are going in a little bit like this. I'll show you the difference when, let's say if I work with Cha-Cha, I'll do the same thing and you'll see the difference. Okay, there. Good boy. Now loosen it up. Just warm it up a little again, the area. And that's the second port. See, that's the second thigh right there. That's the first one, that's actually the second one. So sometimes you can actually do both at once. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, you sat so well. No, you're a good boy. Now pretend I've done some of the other side of the dog, but let's say I haven't done any of it. I would actually move now to do, I was working on this side primarily. I'd want to make sure that I've covered this side completely, so I'm not going to go redo everything. I've actually done at least some of it. So pretend that we're actually going to go to the tail now and finish off the massage. So to finish off, to get to the tail, I'm just going to do a nice stroke down the dog's body, and then I'm just going to take it down the tail, down the tail, down the tail. Now his tail's docked, so you continue and pretend you follow the phantom tail, and that's it. So now you're going to watch me do a phantom tail technique, and I'll show you with Cha-Cha. So now I've taken it down the tail, and I'll do a gentle squeeze, 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 squeeze down the tail, pretending you had his full tail and it wasn't docked. Okay, and we're going to do that again. Squeeze, 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 off the tail. Then I'm going to find the little grooves at the set of tail. So do you notice where my hands are? There's these little grooves around his tail. We're going to learn all the tail muscles 2 weeks from now. But do you see? I'm massaging a little in either side of his tail. And I'm giving him some comfort here with the other hand, doing something that he likes as well as the tail. So now we're just kind of stripping in to the tail. It's right here, right? And look at the little circles. Nice little circles in the tail. Smooth it out. So you always smooth out and give them something nice. When you do something nitty gritty, you break it up by smoothing and giving them something like at the spa more, okay? And now we're going to take the tail, we're going to circle the entire tail, which is hard to show. But picture I've got a tail and I'm doing a few clockwise rotations and then a few counterclockwise. That's what I'm going to try to show you. So very hard. Clockwise. Yeah. Clockwise. And now counterclockwise. Good boy, good boy. We're almost done. Good boy. Okay, you are so good. I'm going to show you, I'm going to leave it now and I'm going to actually show you the finale. And if you think about it, he's actually been on the table for well over 40 minutes. You're a good boy. So now watch, you close the massage like you open it. So you'll start with an effleurage. One follows the other. One hand follows the other, follows the other, follows the other. Now I would do it on this side. Okay, so one hand follows the other, and I'm going to do a few techniques towards the heart. So we're going to end it with towards the heart, okay? End it like that, okay? Now we're going to open it up and quicken up the pace. It signals the close, so watch how... No, it's okay, it's okay. It startled me too. So from effleurage, we go to stroking. So stroking, watch how my hand just becomes more open. Random, I'm picking up the pace. I'm stroking off his head, Diego's ears, into his chest, down his paws, down the other paw, down the tail, through the stomach, and look, Diego can tell something's changed in the demeanor, because now, and when I'm ready, and then I tell him, finished. And then I'll say, thank you, Diego, thank you. You did a great job. And I always like to thank the dog.